Having studied then trade acquisitions and the various ports and entrepots that the British adopted around the world, we're now going to be moving on and looking at the strategic acquisitions that the British made subsequently to protect the empire that they had built based upon trade. So what I would like to do initially is to revisit the motives behind the acquisition of Hong Kong, Zanzibar, Shanghai, Weihai Bay, the Suez Canal and Singapore. Tell me what you remember the motive being. When did it happen, any key individuals, and how each of these may interact with other factors, either on this side of the sheet or on the strategic acquisitions on the reverse side. Can I remind you at the bottom to familiarise yourself with the key chronology. Please mark on the map and remind yourself where each of these acquisitions were. When we have the context from our prior learning, we move on and we look at the strategic acquisitions. Now I've put Suez on this side as well because I think it leans itself very clearly to crossing both themes. Huge impact on trade, but clearly also acquired for strategic reasons. Now we are going to do the same now for Aden, the Falklands, Ceylon, Sri Lanka, Malta, Cyprus and Gibraltar. Mark on the map where each of these areas are. Firstly, look at the map. Use the geography, use your prior understanding. What do you believe was the motive for the acquisition of each of these territories? We can then test your theory, your understanding against the reality when we study the core text and information more closely. When was the acquisition made? Who were the key individuals? Do they link to any other features, again, either on this side or the reverse side of the sheet? And then just an observation for each one. How strategic or how economic were they in terms of their importance to the British? Clearly, principally, they were strategic. But how do they overlap with the trade that came before them? Mark on your line for each one, and please use the space below to justify your reasoning. Now, obviously, as you move on to studying each of these in more depth and detail, then what you can then do is move on and make additional notes back in your books.